receivable and sales calculation section of the 13-week cash flow. Now, this section is actually pretty easy. It flows very nicely, and all the information that we put in here, again, flows up to the cash balance reconciliation that you saw in one of the earlier videos. So the first thing I want to do here is I want to turn on the data entry cells so we know what our data entry cells are. So let's take a look at what they are. First of all, we have the average days outstanding in accounts receivable, and I'll talk about how we use that in a minute. And basically what we do is we start with a beginning accounts receivable balance. We'll have to data enter that in and say, well, this is what our balance is at this given week. Now, the things that make your accounts receivable balance change week to week is how much invoicing or sales you do, and then how much cash you collect gives you a ending balance in your accounts receivable. So the only data entry cells that we really have here is estimating what our sales are on a weekly basis. And again, these are areas that we can change the numbers as we know more about what we think our sales are. Now, the interesting thing is that collection of accounts receivable actually has some data analytics to it. And based on how your customers behave, you usually have, let's say, 30, 60, or some number of days outstanding in accounts receivable. And that's where this first number comes in, because the collection rate is going to be based on the number of days that I put in here. As you can see, my collection rate right now is $150,000 a week. Now, if I change this from 70 days to 30 days, that means I'm going to collect a full $1.5 million in 30 days. Doing so, that means that I'm going to collect at an average rate of about $350,000 a week. And then all the other respective collections change based on the sales that are here. So this really gives us, if we know our customer behavior on what our accounts receivable payments are like, we can change this, and we can actually, if we have a 45-day normal turnaround in accounts receivable, we can actually stress the situation even more and assume a higher number like 60 days. And that will allow us to assume a slower cash collection, and we can adjust our cash balance and our cash plan accordingly with the cash disbursements in the line of credit side of the cash management section.